Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. £27 million Arsenal player now seen back in full training after recent injury scare. Arsenal fans will be relieved to see Gabriel Magalhaes back in Brazil training following a recent injury scare last week. The 25-year-old centre-back made his proud debut for his country against Bolivia, but came off in the 85th minute. Gabriel was then seen icing his thigh after taking several knocks in the game, something that caused alarm in North London. However, fans can rest assured that Gabriel has at least resumed full training in Brazil's latest session. Gabriel can be seen training alongside the likes of Neymar in Brazil's latest training video, which will surely be a relief for Arsenal fans and Mikel Arteta. Although it's been a surprise to see Gabriel on the bench in recent weeks at Arsenal, he once again proved his importance against Manchester United. Club and country teammate Gabriel Jesus was full of praise for his compatriot on his return for his side, and given Thomas Partey's recent injury, Brazil's Gabriel seems like he will once again be crucial to Arsenal. Moreover, if he is fully fit then, Gabriel will still have his immediate sights set on Brazil's next game against Peru this week. Brazil play in Lima in the early hours of Wednesday morning, and given Arsenal's next game against Everton is the late kick on Sunday, there should be no concerns about their Brazil contingent arriving back in time. One would imagine that Gabriel will now continue in the Arsenal team for the foreseeable, given there appears to be no injury. An away trip to Goodison Park proved tricky for Arsenal last season, and a surprise defeat that hurt the club's title chances. However, with the £27 million Gabriel back in the side alongside the likes of Declan Rice, Arsenal will feel they are now better equipped. Thomas Partey might be missing through injury, but Arsenal also have Brazil's Gabriel Jesus close to full fitness. Ally McCoist seriously worried about 24-year-old Arsenal player right now. Pundit Ally McCoist has admitted he is now very worried about Arsenal midfielder Kai Havertz. McCoist was speaking on TalkSPORT, with the international break not providing the 24-year-old with any respite. Arsenal signed Kai Havertz from Chelsea for £65 million off the back of a rather average season at Stamford Bridge. Mikel Arteta saw plenty of potential in the versatile German international, but hasn't been able to extract a top performance out of him yet. He is stuck with him so far this season, starting him in all four of Arsenal's league games. However, although he's been working hard, he's made a few mistakes and not stood out in midfield. Havertz would have been hoping joining up with his international teammates would have taken some of the pressure off him. However, Ally McCoist is now worried about Havertz after Germany coach Hans Flick was sacked following a 4-1 defeat to Japan. Havertz started as a false nine for Germany on Saturday, but was substituted for Thomas Muller after 73 minutes. It's a position he's struggled to thrive in, but won't help his already low confidence. Reacting to the news coming out of Germany about Flick, McCoist said, "Do you know what I think they are lacking? I'm just looking at their side, and they have got great players, Leroy Sané, Florian Wirtz, Serge Gnabry, Kai Havertz. I'm just looking at that side, and I think it lacks a bit of steel. When you think of German sides of the past, clearly they have been talented, no doubt about it, but they have always had a bit about them. They have had a spin and a ruthless streak to them, and I don't think they have got that. What about Havertz, though? He just cannot get a break at all. I mean, it's a real problem that has got to be a real problem. Obviously not setting the standards at Arsenal, and obviously on the international side as well." Stan Collymmore's Bukayo Saka assessment shows Arsenal man is under constant pressure. Arsenal winger Bukayo Saka has become one of the poster boys of English football in recent times. Saka's performances with England and Arsenal have been outstanding, and he has rightly won the Player of the Year for England for the last two seasons. However, Comments this weekend from Stan Collymore showed just how much pressure is on Saka to maintain his performance level. After playing for England this weekend, former Liverpool striker Stan Collymore offered a bit of a downbeat assessment of Saka's performance. He said, Saka needs to mix things up more, wants to come inside way too much, not going to score a or die every game, so needs to remind himself he is there to serve strikers too. Saka had, like many England players, had a quiet and relatively ineffective game for the Three Lions against Ukraine. However, this sort of assessment from Collymore shows just how much pressure Saka is under to maintain the performance levels he is shown. Saka's display for England wasn't even what that was notably bad, it was just simply a case that he dropped below a level that had seen him pick up those Player of the Year awards for Arsenal fans and Saka himself. This just shows that at the very top level, there are fans and pundits waiting to pick up on every little negative. For Saka, this is a lesson in just how important it is for him to maintain standards that can also be translated across to Arsenal in general, who played so well all last season, only to fall short in the late run. Saka will not mind the odd comment, and really, Collymore isn't being overly reactive or harsh, but there is a lesson here for the Arsenal youngster on how quickly a drop in performance can be highlighted. Fabrizio Romano offers a fresh Martin Odegaard contract update with Arsenal optimistic. Martin Odegaard is one of the top players at Arsenal right now as they continue to build under Mikel Arteta. The Norwegian was made skipper by Arteta and has embraced the role by becoming the first name on the team sheet. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, Odegaard could be in line for a brand new contract. Arsenal have handed out a number of new contracts in recent months, with the likes of Bukayo Saka and Aaron Ramsdale among the players to be rewarded, and according to Fabrizio Romano, Odegaard is in love with the Gunners, meaning a new contract will be no problem. Romano said, Odegaard is in love with Arsenal, and Arsenal are in love with Odegaard, so the feeling is mutual that they will continue together for a long time. Odegaard is a club captain and an important player on and off the pitch. Arsenal are now planning to continue contract negotiations with Odegaard in the next week and months in order to get a new deal done, following the fine work they did to tie down other star players such as Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, Aaron Ramsdale, and Reece Nelson in recent months. Now it's time for Odegaard, and Arsenal are very optimistic about a positive outcome to this story, with the Norwegian likely to sign a new long-term deal with an improved salary. We are just waiting for the negotiations to continue in the next weeks and months. Odegaard was a £30 million signing by Arsenal from Real Madrid and has looked every bit the bargain ever since making that move. While making new signings is always important for clubs like Arsenal, keeping your best players is also one of the biggest issues that needs sorting. They have moved well to tie down some key players, and moving on to Odegaard seems a very sensible move. Declan Rice says Arsenal have a really top guy on and off the pitch in their ranks right now. Declan Rice has been speaking about Arsenal and how he is settled into life under Mikel Arteta this weekend. In a video on the Tubes and Ainge Golf Life channel, Rice got onto the subject of signing for Arsenal and working with Arteta, and speaking about his new manager, Rice had nothing but praise for him. Arteta is known for his intensity on match days, and his behavior on the touchline has been called into question more than once in the last 12 months. But speaking about Arteta as a presence and person in and out of football, Rice insists that the Spanish coach is a top man. Speaking to Tubes and Ainge, Rice praised Arteta for how he's been with him. He said, he is top, a really top guy on and off the pitch. I think on the pitch you can see tactically what he tries to do and how good he is, and then off the pitch, he is a really top guy as well. Rice went on in the discussion to speak about how Arteta had helped him settle on his first day as well, playing a minute joke on the £100 million man by making him wear an embarrassing sticker on his shirt. It seems, though, that the players love how Arteta is in this regard, and as a result on the pitch show, the squad clearly buys into it. Having worked under Pep Guardiola, you can really see some of the top characteristics that come out of Arteta while he is managing Arsenal. The Spaniard is going right to the very top if he is not already there, and regardless of how things end up with Arsenal, he will never be short of a job offers in the future now. As Rice says, Arteta seems to have a way both on and off the pitch of doing things right, and this is feeding through into the squad. Arsenal may make a January move for ridiculous 23-year-old with 2 goals this term. Arsenal remain admirers of Dusan Vlahovic and could consider making a move for the Juventus striker during the January transfer window. That's according to a report from Tutto Mercato Web, which suggests that Mikel Arteta has been a fan of the Serbia international for a long time now. Dusan Vlahovic appears to have been linked with a Premier League move in every window for the last few years. He made a brilliant start to life in Serie A with Fiorentina, scoring 38 goals in his last 18 months before joining Juve. His time in Turin has not really got going. However, he has still managed to score 19 goals in 45 Serie A games for the Old Lady. He has started this season with 2 goals in 3 games. Nevertheless, it seems that he could get the chance to leave Juve in January. Tutto Mercato Web is now reporting that Arsenal want to sign another forward in the winter, and Vlahovic is one of the club's top target for that position, with Arteta a long-time admirer. The report notes that a bid of just under £69 million would have seen Vlahovic get the green light to leave in the summer. Obviously, much can change before the January window opens. Certainly, if Vlahovic is prolific over the coming months, Juventus are surely going to make sure that he stays. Arsenal, meanwhile, may not need to spend big on another goal scorer. Eden Ketia has been impressive so far this season, and Gabriel Jesus reminded everyone of what he can do in the win over Manchester United. Arsenal have spent plenty of money in the last few windows, so a winter move for Vlahovic is probably not something supporters will be really expecting. Vlahovic is a ridiculous talent with plenty of room to improve further, so if Arsenal do make a move, he would certainly be an exciting signing, but given the amount of links there have been in the last few years, it would be little surprise if Vlahovic remains at Juventus beyond the window. Arsenal now want to sign unique 19-year-old with a £69 million release clause next summer. Arsenal will renew their interest in sporting Lisbon's 19-year-old Ousmane Diomande next summer as they look to strengthen their squad further. That's according to Portuguese outlet Record, who shared that Arsenal has previously been prepared to pay £30 million for Diomande. The report says that Mikel Arteta is a huge admirer of the defender and his considerable potential. Moreover, the information shares that Jurriën Timber's unfortunate injury has now accelerated Arsenal's interest in a move. Diomande has a release clause of £69 million, but Arsenal fans will surely hope that any deal would be concluded for less. Sporting are reportedly quite comfortable with the clause, knowing that any interested clubs will have to pay a top fee for the 19-year-old. Diomande is of course a player that is no stranger to the Emirates already. The centre-back played all 120 minutes of Sporting's impressive away performance to knock Arsenal out of the Europa League last season, and the report suggests that Arteta's interest dates way back before then. Despite having a hefty release clause, it would seem that Arsenal would still consider a deal for Diomande. Arteta's defense has seen a considerable clear out this summer, but there is still an argument that the side are a player short. Rob Holding has now left, and he played a considerable amount of games across the season owing to unavailability, and as we can see with Jurriën Timber, unfortunate injuries do happen. Sporting's unique Diomande would no doubt be an exciting signing for Arsenal fans, and at 19 years old, he really could have a brilliant potential with the club. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.